This is the stuff I use called Aquamira. 7 drops of each will treat 1 liter. So this stuff is really good. I love it. We're gonna take our little mushrooms here and we're just gonna break them up into little pieces so that we have nice bite-sized mushrooms to go into our wraps. Oh my gosh, I am so freaking excited. Oh, I love chanterelles. They're like my favorites. Dude, it smells so good. We're gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna get another tortilla put on top of here so that I got 2 to go, because let's face it, one never fills you enough. All right, so that's our mushroom and cheese-filled smoked bologna tortilla wrap. Oh my gosh. Okay, good morning. Morning hair, yeah. You gotta love morning hair. I slept in, I feel great. Might not look great, I look terrible, but I feel great. I'm not gonna lie, without the help of friends and people I've met along the way, this would have been a much different situation than it is now. I just really want to thank all the people that I've met, Harpo and Hondo and Fred from my very first day. You guys have been amazing. You've been reaching out to me and encouraging me and helping me with info and things that I needed to know all along the way so far. Especially Crystal, who drove 3 hours to come pick me up and take me to town to get a food refill, go to a little pub tavern, and drive me to the Po Valley State Park. Without all that, I would have been a mess right now, like way more frustrated and wanting to give up than I am right now. So thank you so much for all your support through all this and helping me achieve this goal of finishing this god-awful trail. Right now there's a little bit of rain. I'm not sure if it's rain as much as it is just water coming off the trees from the wind, but it seems to have all let up now, and I wanted to give as much time as possible so my tent could kind of dry off, but it's not going anywhere. It's still completely saturated on the outside. Off we go. I think I was mistaken. I put my cold, wet boots on, stripped down, put my kilt on, my hiking clothes, stepped out of the tent, and had everything already started packing up from the inside. And there's still some rain falling. The only thing I'm really concerned about is if it stays like this and I get to my next campsite, if I can't get a fire started, I might get a little screwed over. And if I can't dry stuff out to be able to wipe my tent down, I'll be sleeping in a wet tent, which means a wet sleeping pad, wet clothes, wet sleeping bags. It's just gonna be miserable. The trail. Soaked. Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna get 10 miles in this. My feet never sweat, my feet never heat, because I'm hiking with the power of waterlogged boots, feeling like a swimming pool. Do, 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 do. Okay, for those who are just tuning in, this is the stuff I use for cleaning my water, called Aquamira, and it's the water treatment. You got parts A, parts B, It's got phosphoric acid activator for the one, and then this one is a chlorine dioxide. So what you do, you put 7 droplets and 7 droplets into the one cap. You let it sit, mix, and it creates a chemical reaction. After 5 minutes, you drop it into the water. 7 drops of each will treat 1 liter. This will treat, I think, up to 33 gallons of water. So this stuff is really good. I love it. It might leave a little bit of a taste in the water, but for the lightweight compactness of this water treatment and not having to worry about clogged filters, I think it works really well. If you can find a water source with the water cascading down the rocks, take it out of there, because usually it'll filter debris out as it passes through the moss and all that on the rock. 95% of the time, I'll get it clear just like that. This is helpful. It was dry, and there was already some dry kindling in here. In this instance, I did not make a bird's nest because they are hard to do, and I was freezing cold, so I actually cheated. I used a butane lighter, and I had a little fire starter with me, so I just lit the fire starter, threw it in, because sometimes the easiest route is the best route, and now I can get warm quicker. If you remember earlier on, I was trying to light a fire using the bird nest, and I got the bird nest to light. However, what I didn't show you is that it did fail, and it's kind of proving my point that you can post anything on YouTube, like, bird nest lit, and they throw it in, they cut to the next scene where it's a full raging fire, and the bird nest didn't light it. So it's all perspective, like what you perceive. For that fire, I was in a rush too, and when the bird nest failed, I used a fire starter as well. I just want to be honest and real that sometimes it's not a bad thing to use fire starters, because sometimes it's what works and it gets the job done. For processing, I found this. This is all one giant log. And if you don't have any tools, nothing on hand, like me basically, find yourself 2 trees, giant preferably, and they make like a V coming out. You can safely, without harming the trees, put your piece of material inside of that V notch, and then you leverage it. You pull on that tree on the back end, and you have enough leverage, and the 2 trees as a vise will snap your lumber and your material nicely. And then you just take the next piece, stick it in further, snap. Put it in further, snap. It saves your life sometimes if you don't have a saw or something to cut the material with. So here's our fire. Nice big. Got my tent, got my socks, got my shoes. Hopefully this will all dry out soon. Yeah, it'll make life so much happier. I'm gonna zero out here, I think, for now. Didn't get as many miles in today as I was thinking I would, but it was a blessing in disguise because I met some people, learned some cool new stuff about mushrooms, and had a nice dry place to hide out under because the weatherman was wrong and it is raining a lot. I am nice and warm and safe from the elements, and I can't ask for more than that. I am eternally grateful for this because I did not expect to have this kind of thing happen today. Yeah, my motivation is like, I'm ready to take on tomorrow. I'm ready to take on more miles because guess what? The next several days to like a week, if not longer than a week, it's supposed to be maybe cloudy, but then it gets sunny, sunnier. Yes! This week it's supposed to be a heat wave and pop us up to the upper 70s again. So I got a very unexpected form of trail magic today. Walking through a park and I met a guy who was doing some foraging. We struck off conversation about wild mushrooms and all that and all the fun stuff. He helped me identify things, taught me a few things, and he gave me dinner. So inside here, I believe he called these hedgehog mushrooms. And so named because on the underside, it doesn't have gills, it's got like little spiky things that are coming down. And that's why it's named the hedgehog. And then I have some chicken of the woods in here. Ah, here it is. And then some of the chicken of the woods. But then he gave me a bunch of these little chanterelle types. He said this is a form of a chanterelle. So I am excited. He was actually telling me such a cool story. I knew mushrooms were like super good for you, but hearing his story really put in perspective. He had a heart condition, and the doctors told him he was going to die. Like, it was a for sure, you got like a day to live. That's how bad this heart condition is. He said it was around that time that he had discovered the mushroom stuff, and he was eating reishi and all those mushrooms. Once he started incorporating the mushrooms into his diet, he's alive. This was a year ago, he said, that they told him this. All I'd say, survival on foraging what you can find out here is tremendous. The medicinal value to things you can find in nature is off the charts. So while that's boiling down and cooking, we're going to take our little mushrooms here and we're just going to break them up into little pieces so that we have nice bite-sized mushrooms to go into our wraps. Here we go. That should be good. We'll throw all of this right into the pot. This has got a nice cook going. I added a little bit of water so that some of that meat can soak up water, crisp, get some flavoring. I've been simmering it for now, but now I kick the heat up to kind of get it to a nice boil, cook the meat, and then we'll throw the mushrooms in and it'll be dinner time. Huzzah! Okay, now we're gonna take our spread and we're gonna throw it in the pot. I don't really want those parts. I am so freaking excited. I love mushrooms and these chanterelles. Oh, I love chanterelles. They're like my favorites. Let's give this a stir. Get all that mixed into the juices down below. Once I'm satisfied with the stirring, let's throw a lid on, let them steam cook. And while that's going, we'll get our tortilla. Throw a tortilla right on top. So as that heats up, this tortilla will warm up. Alright, now we're gonna meal prep. Because I don't really care to do this portion out in the wild. Only because you never know if you'll have a nice cutting surface. Yeah, it just gets messy out there. It's nice that I got this little picnic table here, and while dinner is prepping, I can start prepping meals for the next few days. Throw this on my nice handy dandy baggie. Cool. All in there. And there you go. Now it's cut up and ready for sandwich wraps for the next day's meal. Let's check in on this. Oh, that looks beautiful. The mushrooms are cooked down. Dude, it smells so good. I'm going to let this simmer for just a little bit longer. We're gonna kill the heat. And I'm gonna get another tortilla put on top of here so that I got two to go, because let's face it, one never fills you enough. Gotta have at least two ready. Cause I'm hungry, I'm gonna devour the thing. Let's go on a Hawaiian roll first. All right, so that's our mushroom and cheese-filled smoked bologna tortilla wrap. Itadakimasu! Oh my gosh. That is so good! Got to a nice little end point. Met some unexpected people who taught me some things. Provided natural food for my amazing meal this evening. It was so nice having vegetables at all in my diet. So that was just... words cannot express how delicious that was. Now I'm just chilling, listening to a book on tape about an medieval story. And it's getting super good, so I'm like pumped. I actually took a break from it so I could do this. I'm ready for nighttime. I'm ready for sleeping. So close. 2 days away from state college, where I can enjoy myself a little bit, grab some beer, and just chill. Laundry, hang out with some friends that are coming in to visit before I get back on trail, and then I got a whole freaking week of nice weather. And I am so pumped for that. Yeah, things are looking up finally. I am very happy about it.